What is going on, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Trading to Glory. My name is ELYYT, and today we're going to be talking about our Sunday bidding cards. We're going to be selling those guys. We're going to talk about UCL cards. We're going to be talking about our last-minute Team of the Week investments, and in this video, I will be doing probably a couple of the SBCs that I haven't done throughout the week. So to start it off, guys, last night I went out and bought a lot of these gold cards, not too many of them, for a decent price, and I'm able to hopefully sell these back onto the market. I've got some in my club as well. Sell them back on the market for a couple thousand coin profit. And as you see, we have a ton of UCL cards on our transfer list. We've got even more, far more in our club from earlier this week, and right now they're actually quite cheap again, which is not good for our investments we've made so far. Now, don't get me wrong, we're still going to be all right, but it's also a great time to start picking them back up again because they might be used for an SBC in the next week. But what we aren't expecting is an SBC that actually gives them as a reward, like the UCL pack in return, because there's no Champions League games this week, which means that there's not going to be any reward for UCL cards unless EA throw like a curveball SBC that we're not expecting. But these have been periodically used in just different squad building challenges, and with all the SBCs that we've been getting for this Ultimate Scream promotion, they're bound to be used at least once, and even if it's just one card needed, it will have an impact on the prices quite significantly because they haven't been in packs for about a week now. Not a week, maybe about 5 days now, because they went out of packs on Thursday and it's Tuesday. So they've been out of packs for about 5 days now, but the longer they go without being in packs, the more expensive they're going to get, especially if SBCs drop. Now, we know that there are a lot of people with supply, so if there's no SBC that drops, these things might not rise, especially these cheap ones. Now, it could be different for the cards that are actually used in Weekend League, but nobody's using a Vanakin in Weekend League, so we got to rely on SBCs for these cards to go up. Nonetheless, we got them for pretty decent prices, so even though they are still going for like 1,000 coins right now as non-rare cards, a lot of the rare cards that we got kind of show that we're going to be making profit no matter what happens, because right now the cheapest of all the UCL cards are these non-rare cards that link with nothing. And if I can snipe those guys as well, we're going to be making even more profit, and I'll just go ahead and pick up as many as I can for around the price of 800 or less. I can do that through these filters, but as it appears right now, there's just not that many opportunities to get too many of these on bid, which could mean one of two things. One of the reasons is another person has already bid over the first 20 minutes of those cards, already bid 900 coins or more. Or what it could mean is there's just not that much supply on the market this late at night. We know there's not that many transfers on Xbox this late at night. The transfer market kind of fluctuates between 800K live transfers at the lowest point of the day, and then up to maybe like 2.2 million at the peak of the day. And then on PlayStation, it's like 1.4 million at its lowest point, and then like 3 to 4 million live transfers at its highest point in the day. So almost double for the most part on the transfer market for PlayStation, which doesn't really play too much of a factor, guys. A lot of people say, oh, it's so much harder to trade on the Xbox, there's not as many transfers, or it's so much harder to snipe on PlayStation, there's too many people. And neither of those are true whatsoever. They don't really have much correlation at all, because what happens is, even though there's more people, sniping cards, there's also more people listing cards. So it just balances out. They have the same ratio, I guess you could say, in terms of people sniping and people listing. So it just evens out. It really isn't much different. Take it from somebody who's traded on both consoles. I traded on PlayStation for years, and I've traded on Xbox the past 2 FIFAs. So they're not different at all. I've traded on both. They're the exact same for me. There's slight differences every now and then, especially with like price ranges affecting things. If they don't update price ranges on one console but they do the other, that makes a difference, but the overall fluctuation of cards is the exact same as well. The SBCs are the exact same. There's really not much change. But nonetheless, guys, rant over. We're going to go ahead and start selling my cards for the Sunday bidding, which I didn't really do too much of. I just kind of chilled and picked up a couple of cards, sent a lot of them to the club. But let's see how many coins we can make off of that, and maybe get into some SBCs afterwards. So I got asked this question in my stream, and I wanted to really explain it to you guys to just dig this into your brain, because it's very important, and I have mentioned it before, but I'm going to reiterate it in this episode for anybody who maybe hasn't seen an episode where I explain this. And essentially it was, why did my Fellaini drop in price? Why did my Fellaini card drop in price when he got a really sick Scream card upgrade? Why did this Fellaini card go down in price when he has 91 pace and 90 dribbling now? That card's actually insane if you look at all those stats. I mean, 86 physical and 91 pace and 90 dribbling, you could play that literally anywhere on the pitch, and it would be a solid card. Why did he drop in price? And so anybody who's not really familiar with investing and trading might say there's no logical reason for him to have dropped. Why would he drop? His card's dope. That should be at least 100K. Here's the reason. This card had really crappy boosts on the first day it was out. It was like dribbling and passing, and let's be real, nobody really cared when he still had 45 pace. You could have boosted all of the other stats. That 45 pace would have left it so unappealing. But people were still buying that card because they knew once he gets a shape shift, there's like more than a 50% chance that he's going to get 90 pace. Though everybody knew it was coming. Whether it had been 2-3 days ago like it was, or on Halloween, it was coming in the next week. Everybody knew that. And everybody knew his card was going to get better upgrades. Like, obviously, there's like pretty much a 95% chance that he was either going to get a defensive upgrade or a pace upgrade, which would have made his card so much better. Everyone knew his card was going to get better. So everyone bought this card saying, hey, I'm going to buy it right now for 60K, and when he gets that boost, oh, it's going to be 100K plus. And what happens is all these people, everybody in the game knows. Everyone knows this shapeshift is coming. So when the shapeshift actually happens and they get that 90 pace that we're expecting, there is maybe 5 to like 30 minutes after that shapeshift boost where people panic buy the card. And he actually does rise just a little bit. But with everybody who wanted a Fellaini knew this was coming, they bought already. They already have their Fellaini. And that leaves you with not much demand for this Fellaini card. Sure, there's still going to be people buying, but it's not like everybody's like, oh my goodness, what just happened? This Fellaini card just got boosted out of nowhere. No one was expecting it. We all knew it was coming. So all these investors have this supply, and they just dump it onto the market all at the same time in these next few days, and the demand really isn't even as high as it was beforehand, which causes this card to, even though the fact that it rose in pace and it's actually a dope card, probably one of the best center mids in the game right now, it's still dropped in price. Because the demand isn't there right now, but the supply is just overwhelming. There was so much overinvesting that went on. 2 years ago, a very similar occurrence happened with a very similar example. Fellaini had a Scream card a couple years ago, guys. He was in the first Scream, which was FIFA 17. And what happened was everybody knew, because EA announced it, what was Fellaini going to get upgraded to, what were his stats going to be, and when it was going to happen. We all knew, I think it was like October 28th at 6 p.m. UK, Fellaini was going to go from his crappy, +1 upgrade, and nobody really wanted to use that because, again, his pace is terrible, to like an insane 90 pace, 90 defense, 90 physical, just beast of a card for like 3 days. Is just going to get a super upgrade on this exact time, this exact date, and we know exactly what's going to happen. So people are buying this card before the SBC even drops. Not the SBC, but the boost drops. And so he's 90,000 coins. And this card is comparable to like a UCL Fellaini from this year. It's like, it's still not that good. But it's 90,000 coins. And I'm dead serious. Within 15 minutes of the boost happening, this Fellaini at 90,000 coins, going from a crappy 83 rated to just a beast 90 rated card, goes from 90k to 40,000 coins in 15 minutes. because everybody was prepared. Everyone knew it was coming, and the investors just undercut so much when it actually ended up happening. And so that is a big lesson that needs to be learned for all of you guys if you have not fully understood why some cards drop even when they get upgrades. That is the reason why 99.9% of the time. Alright, so I went out and made a couple of investments. I picked up a couple of Scream Rafinha cards. Now, if you guys want to invest in Scream cards, I suggest stay away from Ochoa and Abdulrahman. I kind of went pretty big about a week ago. Not a full week ago, but a few days ago on those cards. And they didn't really work out too well for me because they just don't link with anybody. And the reason I bought those cards was because they were close to discard price. So I didn't really lose that many coins anyway. So it's not like a huge deal. But I still have all these Ochoas that I got for like 11 to 12, a couple for like 13,000 coins, but I'll lose like maybe 1K, 2K per card, which does add up, don't get me wrong, assuming that they don't get like into an SBC. But if you want to invest in a Scream card, my favorite right now is Rafinha because you can get him for pretty cheap, 11,750, 11 flat, and he's Brazilian, Bayern Munich, Bundesliga obviously, and right now his stat upgrades are on defense and physical, which isn't bad, don't get me wrong, that's a pretty good boost, but he's not really going to be used too much until he gets that pace upgrade. Once he gets that pace upgrade, no matter what the other stat boost is, whether it is dribbling, passing, defense, physical, hopefully not shooting as much as the others because you're not going to take too many shots with Rafinha, but nonetheless, as long as pace is upgraded, he's going to be a lot more. And are we expecting a Scream boost on Halloween? I'd imagine so. I mean, that's the one event of the year you can kind of count on a Scream boost happening. But what we do know is it did already get changed a couple days ago, so are they going to change it again that quickly? I'm not sure. Nonetheless, guys, this Rafinha card's actually quite solid as an investment when you can get him for close to discard price. I've seen him up at 19,000 coins at some points, so I think this is a very easy money maker as long as you get him for like less than 13K. And then I picked up a couple of Jovic cards. Now, I want to get more of these, but the reason I picked him up is because he's going to win Player of the Month Bundesliga. He's got like a 95% chance right now. Obviously, with like Paco Alcacer and Jadon Sancho especially. Jadon Sancho could actually win it, but Jovic actually has had an insane month at Frankfurt. He has already got 6 goals and an assist, I believe, which is really, you know, Player of the Month worthy. And right now, his inform, which is in current Team of the Week, is about 12,000 coins, I think. Maybe 11,500, which is still near discard. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a big difference between being 11,500 and being 10K. There's a big difference between the two. But I'm going to go ahead and pick up a couple more if I can. 11,250. See if there's any other bids on his card. Yep, let's go 11,250. Go ahead and go 10. Go 11,000 there, and we'll probably get 1 or 2 of those guys on bid. I think it's a good deal for a card that's really, really likely to win Player of the Month. Maybe 95% chance was a bit high. I might have exaggerated a little bit, but still definitely the most likely to win it alongside Jadon Sancho, who I think is probably the second most likely to win it at this point, and Paco Alcacer, who would be the third most likely to win it. But because the votes of Dortmund fans will probably be spread out between Sancho and Alcacer, that might give Jovic a little bit more of a chance in terms of the fan vote, just because some fans will be split on Sancho and Paco Alcacer. Finally, we've got different cards that we've invested in throughout the year, guys. These cards are actually starting to work out now. You can go ahead and take a look at your 83 rated cards, and they've all risen quite a bit. Now, some more than others, like Balotelli, he's up to about 2,000 coins, but if you take a look at players like Bas Dost, if you take a look at players probably like Willian Jose or Carrasco, some of them are up to over 4,000 coins. I wonder if I have a Bas Dost. I guess I don't have him anymore. I might have used him. I think I used him in an SBC yesterday for the Koke, actually, but he's up to like 4,000 coins now. Timo Werner's probably over 3,000 coins. You guys get the point. A lot of these guys are up in price from what we bought them, and it's a decent time to sell because right now most of them are over 2,000 coins. A select few are over 3,000 coins, which isn't bad at all given the fact that we got most of them for 1,400 or less and a lot of them for 900 or less coins. So that's a decent amount of profit, and Looks like we got one of the Jovic cards for 11,250, and I'll take that all day. That's a decent deal. Because I feel like with a card that'll get hyped up into the Player Month Bundesliga, which will be on November 9th. By the way, the vote starts on November 2nd. I think it's a safe bet that that'll rise into the hype, and I'll be able to sell on like November 6th, November 7th, a couple days before Player of the Month for easily 14,000 coins or more, as long as we don't get blindsided by like a Team of the Week SBC, and even then I think he'll still rise up in price from what he is right now at 11,000 coins. I'm surprised he's still this cheap, and I think once we see him go out of packs and the supply kind of gets cut off a little bit, we're going to see the demand is not only going to stay the same, I think it's going to rise, and I think the supply is going to drop, which is just going to cause this card to rise several thousand coins, even as an 81 rated inform. In a recent, well, the current Team of the Week, but I guess recent once he goes out of packs. But that's going to be it for today's episode. We didn't get into squad building challenges simply because, honestly, they don't really look too worth it right now. They are decently easy, and maybe I could get lucky, but it does have a slight risk because a lot of the cards you need for links are like 3,000 to 6,000 coins, and when you're only getting like nothing better than 25k packs back, you know, you're not really guaranteed profit. You got to get kind of lucky. And it's not like I'm against doing these Scream SBCs because a lot of them are worth it. It's just I've been focused on other things today during this episode, and we never got around to doing them. And since they're not like that crazy worth it, I don't think it's too much of a deal. We'll see what comes out tomorrow. And see if there's any SBCs that are worth doing then. But that's going to be it for today's episode. Make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of Trading Glory. Peace out.